In, as you saw in the intro of the video, U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno educates the CFTC chair, Timothy Masad, on Bitcoin after he calls it a token. And it's great what he says here as far as, wow, I cannot believe that this is what was supposed to be regulating crypto. This is why they have this special hearing on crypto and these special bills. This is the crypto week, as they're calling it right now. 3 bills could be passed about crypto this week. But as you heard him talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and these are people that don't really care or know anything about crypto, that were almost ready to make the rules and regulations against crypto. But now we have a crypto-friendly administration that has stepped in to make sure that that does not happen to us. But big, massive, amazing news for XRP holders. So here what we have, Ripple just scored a huge win. Now, I know that this isn't XRP's token because this is about the stablecoin, but regardless, the gas fees are XRP. The actual marketing is for Ripple, which is synonymous with XRP. But Bank of Mellon, or BNY Mellon, one of the oldest banks in the entire United States, who manages over $53 trillion in assets, is now the primary custodian for Ripple's RLUSD. And the deal was announced on July 9th, and it is a big, big deal. RLUSD, which is Ripple's US dollar peg stablecoin, which launched back in December of 2024, it's already at $500 million market cap. And obviously that's some serious growth in just 7 months. But why does this matter for you and your wallet? Well, stablecoins like RLUSD are crypto's bridge to the real world. So they're pegging to the dollar so that they're stable, fast, and perfect for things like cross-border payments. Now, BNY Mellon stepping in means institutional trust, regular TradFi, traditional finance coming in, and it's starting to skyrocket that trust. That institutional trust is going to the moon. And this isn't just some crypto startup. It's a signal that Wall Street is betting big on stablecoins. They're calling it stablecoin summer because even companies like Amazon and Apple are reported eyeing stablecoin projects right now. And for you, this could mean more adoption of RLUSD, which runs for both Ethereum and Ripple's XRP ledger. If Ripple shifts more of its activity to the XRP ledger, it could boost XRP's value. Analysts are already eyeing a price target of $2.87 or even $3.72 for XRP based off of this. And that's a potential 20% jump from current levels right now. So keep your eye on XRP. This partnership could be a game changer. And there was multiple posts all over X today, and I didn't want to bring too many in, but even Ripple talking about it on their page. Obviously, it's a big deal. We also have right here, do you understand what Brad just said? Testimony of Brad Garlinghouse, United States Senate Committee Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, which is happening right now, from Wall Street Web3, building tomorrow's digital asset markets. And on top of that, Brad Garlinghouse also went on to discuss Ripple's new banking partnership on CNBC.
Look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most well-regulated, and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there for as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds. And I think we're going to see a lot of growth.
I mean, all the way back to that duel, I think, right? Is that Bank of New York? I think, yeah, Alexander Hamilton. It goes back a ways, doesn't it?
That one goes way back. I didn't put a number out there because I wasn't sure how many years it's been. But the BNY Mellon, we feel very lucky to be partnered with them. And we think, again, building trust for the whole industry and having RLUSD, our stablecoin, which just passed $500 million of market cap. We launched only about 6 months ago. So we're really pleased with that trend line and feel like this will only continue to build that trust.
It's small compared to some of your competitors, though, at this point. How does that factor into how you approach the whole stablecoin industry?
So the stablecoin industry is about $250 billion today. Many people think it'll be between 1 and 2 trillion in a handful of years. The growth behind it has been profound. We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense. And stablecoins, when we were using that, we were a big part of activity for us. We were minting a lot, and we thought we can participate in this market, given our institutional background, given the fact we've leaned into compliance, been very regulated. We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
You still want a banking license, right? Even though you have this deal with BNY.
Well, yes, is the short answer. We have pursued and requested application to apply for an OCC license as well as a Fed master account. We think that the key here for crypto and the kind of decentralized finance, as many people call it, Ripple has been building bridges between traditional finance and decentralized finance. The world isn't going to be taken over by crypto. Instead, we think about how do we take the best of what crypto brings in facilitating faster, cheaper transactions and bring it to traditional finance. That's been at the heart of what Ripple has been focused on from the beginning. This is a step towards that, and certainly getting an OCC license. For those that have said that the crypto world wants to be unregulated, whatever, the opposite is true. I'm here in Washington in part, as you referenced, there's a Senate Banking Committee hearing today. We are advocating as an industry to be regulated. And those that, like Ripple, who have stepped forward and said, we want to get an OCC license, in addition to the licenses we have with the New York Department of Financial Services, it only continues to augment that very robust, very compliance-first, trusted partner so that we can continue to use these technologies to benefit consumers and businesses alike.
On top of that, we also have the fact that Truth Social files their S1 with the SEC to launch their blue chip ETF holdings. And it's going to include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Crow, and XRP. Now, a lot of people out there were pretty upset or hating on XRP because it was only getting a 2% allocation of Truth Social's crypto launch with the SEC for their blue chip ETF. But this is massive. This is going to be another spot ETF that XRP gets to be a part of. And remember, we have many other spot XRP ETFs that will be launching once we get this regulation and once the actual results of the XRP or Ripple versus SEC is completely finished. Now, we do have a little bit of bad news on the world stage. The United States debt officially reaches an all-time high for the first time since February. Now, why should crypto fans care about the national debt? Well, a massive national debt could shake confidence in the dollar, and that's where crypto, especially stablecoins and assets like Bitcoin, comes in. Now, some folks on X are even saying Ripple's RLUSD and XRP could play a role in stabilizing global finance by offering that reliable blockchain-based alternative for payments and value storage. Whether it's true or not, a growing debt crisis makes decentralized assets look more appealing to investors hedging against inflation or economic uncertainty. So this is a big reason why institutional interest in crypto is heating up, which is exactly what Brad was talking about in his speech there, or his interview. And did you hear what he mentioned? We have over 60 licenses already in place. And on top of this positive news happening for XRP, well, the XRP ledger just posted the second largest 30-day growth in tokenized real-world assets. It is up 34.6 to $157.4 million. And for anyone that's new to this, tokenized real-world assets are things like real estate, bonds, or even U.S. treasuries turned into digital tokens on the blockchain. And this makes them easier to trade, faster to settle, and cheaper to manage. And why this is huge? Well, the XRP ledger is becoming a go-to platform for these assets because it's fast, low cost, and built for enterprise use. So Ripple's push to add smart contracts to the XRP ledger could make it even more competitive, especially for RLUSD. And this growth shows that big players think banks and financial institutions are starting to trust XRP ledger for real-world use cases, not just speculation. And if this trend continues, it could drive more demand for XRP and push the price higher.